Freedom fighters coming back at you with another one. Well, today's video, if you follow my Twitter, my True Social, or I even community posted it here on YouTube, but I posted that the 95-year-old, what they call the Yahtzee grandma, Ursula Heverbeck, I believe is her name. I'm never good at, pronouncing those German names. At least it's not a, really crazy one. But anyway, yeah, so some people didn't know who she was, and, I was going to kind of tell her story and, go on to, a little further about that. Man, her story, by the way, which, that add that to the list of things that grinds my gears. I've been hearing that a lot lately. In that Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight, those two women put on a great fight. By the way, I'm not, putting them down anyway either. But they kept using the term like, "Oh, this is making her story," over and over, and I was just like, "Man, that's so freaking cringe." And I've heard that over and over again. It's just this. It's like the new woke propaganda like buzzword. But anyway, man, that's just a side note. That's not what we're talking about. But there I go ranting again. But anyway, her story was basically that she questioned the events that happened in World War II with the mustache man, and that's just not allowed. Right? You're not allowed to freely speak out about that. And I mean, she lives in Germany. So, again, anywhere in the cooked European nations, there is absolutely no free speech. But the same thing is happening right here in America, which is why I followed it and why I'm covering it. Because, you have these laws that we covered, Kristi Noem. Where is she? I can't even remember. Is it North Dakota? I believe so. She put in some kind of anti-Semitism law. DeSantis in Florida, same thing. You can't criticize or discuss or disagree with the historic events without being declared something, and it's against the law. So, again, there is no free speech. They'll do whatever they want, and kind of gets to the point of the story I wanted to, or the point I wanted to get to was, history the saying is history is written by the victors. And, there's a Norm Macdonald saying, and a comedian that was like, he did a bit that was like, "Oh, well, you look at that. The good guys won again." And isn't it funny how that always worked? The good guys always win because it's in the saying. History is literally his story. And you're always going to hear it from the winner's perspective, from you never hear it from the opposing side, how it went down or how it all started or anything. You hear it from the victor and how it turned out. And it's always, "Oh, yeah, we were the good guys, and, they attacked us, and we came in and liberated and saved all the people. And then, we took over, we ruled, or, we're the top dogs, and we're the good guys. And it all turned out great because the good guys won." Right? So, again, that's what we're facing, and I've talked about it before, man. If these people don't get taken out, these elite, again, I don't put a label on them exactly, but the people, the entrenched, whether you want to call them the NWO, the Illuminati, the elites, whatever, the entrenched, ruler class that are pulling the puppet strings out there. If they don't get taken out, and I mean, politically, like if they don't get removed from power, if Trump goes in there this time and doesn't drain the swamp, doesn't, get rid of these people, and he might have to. I mean, I'm in full support if he wants to go all out and go 1776 and, do some hangings or some firing squad. I'm all in for that. But I don't think he's going to do that. And now that Matt Gaetz got removed from AG, Even though, again, like I say, I don't put my faith in any of these people. But, Pam Bondi looks like to be the new appointee, but who knows? She'll even get confirmed what she's going to do. At the very least, if they don't try and arrest these people for treason and start putting and getting people scared to act this way and pull back, they will own the future. They will be in their mansions, sipping champagne by the pool, toasting glasses, having a wonderful time while they take over, and they'll have no problem slaughtering you and then raising your kids and telling them that they had to do it. We talked about this before, I think, in one of my previous Civil War videos, where I was like, yeah, they'll just, kill you, tell a nice little feel good story of how we freed the people and we had to do it. We had to stomp all over constitutional rights of our own citizens, our own people, because the South were all these, dirty, racist, bigoted people. We had to do it, and then we celebrated it. Don't you think that they'll do the same thing to you again? That all the so proclaimed patriots, that they won't say, oh no, we had to go to war because the orange man got in and he did this and whatever, they did that and they're bad and we had to put them in camps and we had to do all this stuff. That's what they're going to teach your children if they win. So, yeah, I mean, that's the future. And James Woods once put out a tweet that said Joe Biden is going to be harshly, remembered for, on immigration and his policies. And he said that's if there's an American left to read it or like to debate it. Because honestly, you could look at it either way. Yeah, Joe Biden could be judged very harshly on that 4-year term in America. Or because it's almost set in stone here, right? Like if America just becomes, the melting pot per se, and it just becomes an everybody's here, all races, all religion, there is no cultural identity, there is nothing, and it's just, yeah, it's whatever, and we become literally South America, Mex America, and it's not just Mexicans. I mean, that's what I mean. It's all South, El Salvadorian and Venezuelan, Panama, Ecuador, all these places down there. It's all coming up, and we're literally going to become South America. And then at the end of the day, they could look back at that, that term and they'll be building statues of the guy. They'll be praising the dude. They'll be Joe Biden that will be on Mount Rushmore. He'll have a statue in D.C., a mile high. And, they'll be praising him like this was the turning point. This was the nail in the coffin where 20 million illegals flowed through. They'll call it the Great Rush of 22. In 2022, hail President Biden led the immigration rush of 22, where it nailed the final nail in the coffin of the United States of America, and we flipped demographics, and it was never, a white Western Christian country again. And that was when it ended. All hail Biden. That literally could be your history. That could be the pages in the history books that the future children are reading. If we allow it all. And, all the stuff that all the history books and everything, it's all propaganda. And it amazes me how many even so-called, patriots I have, debates with and stuff who don't understand. They're all in that the media's fake and that there's the deep state, the swamp, and, this entrenched ruling class. But if you ever question history, That's when they get all up in arms, like, no, no, that's a, a propaganda point. I'm like, man, the propaganda point is what you're looking at. It's the books that you've been taught off of. It's the books and the papers they're teaching your kids in the schools. Those are the fallacy. Those are the lies. That's what they're teaching you. And now they got woke AI teaching your kids. They've got the freaking Ministry of Truth out there with robots teaching your kids. And if the AI teacher is the future, well, you got all this woke AI crap. You've seen it. How, like, oh, if you can't say so and so word, if there was a nuclear bomb headed our way and I said so and so word to save the world, could I do it? No, you can never say the word. Let a nuclear annihilation happen, but you can never say the word. you know and then, like, there was a report where AI was putting everybody black, right? They're like, hey guys, show me a picture of George Washington, black George Washington. Show me the Irish, black, British, whatever. And then, if for AI's history view, if they're looking at it in the future, that's what it'll be. If there's no one left to contest it, to debate it, then that's what it'll be. That'll be the truth. That'll be the history. So that's what a lot of the things we look at today, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at it through the lens of the elites and the NWO that they've allowed slip through the cracks, and that's their version of it. It's not the truth. And for all extensive purposes, the AI is going to tell you Wakanda is like where we all hailed from, or what's real. I've literally had that conversation with somebody before. They literally thought Wakanda existed. So I mean, that's not even a joke. Like, that's for real. I can see in 50, 80, 100 years for sure, like a generation or two, that if, this totally goes down again, like I said, and Biden flipped the demographics and it's pretty much over. They'll be teaching the kids, and the kids will 100% believe like Wakanda was real. The Marvel movie, like, it'll be a world of idiocracy, and they'll literally be watching like Wakanda, the Marvel movie, as like a historical document. I mean, that could happen. And so, I mean, again, that's if we allow it all. And Adam Calhoun, who we were just talking about in my recent video about a completely different topic, but in the behind of every blade of grass video. But he has a good music video with Tom McDonald called American Flags. And I forget what the exact lyric is in there, but he says along the lines of, it ain't treason if we win. Which, again, if you storm the Capitol, if you hang the traitors, if you do whatever, right? Of course they're going to call it an insurrection. Of course they're going to call it treasonous. Of course they're going to call you the T word. But if you win and you're like, no, that was the liberation. That was us ridding us of these people that were destroying us and holding back our economy and, taking our rights and all that. Then you make the history. You see how it goes? So far, they've made the history. They make the rules. So, I mean, yeah, man, that's pretty much it. But, and recently, what was that thing? I remember during the debate, too, Biden was like, you're telling Trump, you're the worst president of all time. No, really. You know how, he does, look it up. I forget which organization it was, but they do like a presidential ranking. They literally ranked you the worst president of all time. And again, it's like, who are these people? Some stupid leftist think tank, all these people in the media or whatnot. But, and I'd really like to see how they're going to walk that back, right? Like, they've literally declared him the worst of all time. They're like, this guy, and then he's an insurrectionist traitor, all this, but then he gets reelected astoundingly. And then, how are they going to play that one all off? How are they going to say in their polling or whatever they did, oh yeah, this was the worst president of all time, and then we had another one, and then he got reelected back, like, by an alarming numbers. So are they going to say Biden's now the worst? It's just 1-2. Biden's the worst, and then Trump right after it, and that's why he got reelected? Or, it's just clearly, man, they're going to say whatever they want. These people are going to do whatever they want as long as we allow it. And that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. Let me know what you think about the topic and, all this stuff. But until the next one, man, you know what it is. We are on our own. Nobody's coming to save us. So get right with God, because only God can save you. Freedom Fighters out.